welcome to the Foss Motorsports Shop here in Monroe for our Evergreen Speedway Weekly News. We're with the father-son combo of Trenton and Tom Moriarty here, both kind of very familiar names of Evergreen Speedway, one of the winningest names in the history of Evergreen Speedway. Welcome to the show, guys, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Trent, let's start with you, kind of your background of why you got started in racing and kind of how your career's progressed.
I started, when I was a baby, watched my dad race and getting into it and, cleaning his tires, and then started racing quarter midgets about 7 to 9 years old, and I kind of got out of that, and then started helping my dad on his, he was still racing, and then got into a little bit of motocross, did a little bit of that, and then I started racing mini stocks back in 2014. Won 2 championships in that, and so I did my rookie year last year for late models, and then now it's going to my fourth season, so it's been fun.
Tom, for you, a pretty historic career at Evergreen Speedway and throughout the Northwest. Lots of championships. Talk about your career. It's been a long one.
Yeah, I started in 1980 to 85 with the FSCRA. The shoe cars got me involved back then, and then I took a break from 85 to 90 and went back full time 1990 to 2004. But yeah, it's been a long career, I guess. But it doesn't help when your son says you're too old and you got to get out of the car.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. Trent, you kind of progressed now driving super late models. For you, Tom, what's it been like to kind of hand over the torch to your son? Now not racing out there, but having your son race and being so successful.
The first year we had our ups and downs and yelling and screaming and all that stuff. In the late model, the mini stocks was fine. I don't know why I wasn't comfortable in the late models, but this year we kind of switched gears and we brought Jesse Jensen on board, and he's really taken the pressure off me, and the whole crew has. I basically prepare the car in the shop for Trenton and tow it to the racetrack, and then let them guys do their work. So it's taking a lot of pressure off me, and I'm actually enjoying it this year.
Trenton, you've had a pretty good career so far. Rookie of the Year last year, got a win. So far, leading the points this year at Evergreen Speedway in the super late models. What's it been like for you to have such a successful start to your super late model racing, following in your dad's footsteps?
I think it's pretty cool. Just got to be consistent each and every week. Obviously, our car is pretty much ready to go. We just got to set up tonight. That's key. The guys, they work hard all week. Even when we're off, we're still working on the car. It's crazy how much this year has been such a turnaround compared to last year. Yeah, we fought a lot, but I think it's just because, in the mini stock, we were just, all we did was we went out there and we raced and we won. We won a lot. This last year was obviously a tougher class with a lot of competitive drivers, and this year it's a step up from last year too, with all top 10 being so close to each other. So it's pretty crazy.
Let's talk about that a little bit this year. We've talked to some of the other drivers throughout the year so far, and it is a tough field this year at Evergreen Speedway. You got some really good drivers, some guys who have kind of been off for a while, kind of stepped their game out, and there's 10, 12 drivers every week that could win a race. What's it like for you as a driver preparing going into the car?
It's pretty crazy. You just got to make sure everything's tight, everything's running at full power. There's nothing that's going to fall off that you think. Just make sure when you go out there, because you only get 1 or 2 practice sessions if that, and you got to make sure you're good off the trailer. If you're not, you're in for a long day. And thankfully, Jesse, my dad, and Robbie and Neil and John and Eric and Josh and all of them, they put their time in and make sure the car's ready to go when we hit the track.
Last year, Trent, you got your first win. Tom, what was it like for you to watch your son win the super late model?
It was overwhelming. I lost it up there in the spotter stand when I spotted for him, but like I say, this year we've kind of turned that over to Jesse to give me a little bit of a break, and I think he's relaxed a lot more in the car, and he's not worried about me yelling at him, over the headset and screaming at him and all that stuff. So it's really taken a lot of pressure off of me, and I think also for him, and I think he's showing it the way he's driving this year.
Trenton, you've had a pretty good career so far, so successful in your mini stock career, and now so successful in your super late model career. But I know there's been a lot of people along the way that helped you out there, sponsors and other drivers and crew guys. Let's talk about those. Who are the people that really helped you along in your career?
Honestly, I wouldn't be racing right now if it wasn't for Donnie Wannett and John Saretsky in 2013 when we were at the Fall Classic. Him, pretty much pushing me to go out and ask people for some money to help me buy this car, and making sure my dad was going to be committed for that. My racing career started in 2014, and once he said yes, it was game on. And if it wasn't for them, I honestly wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be still wrenching on his cars and watching him go turn left all the time. But I got to thank Brock coming on board this year, J2 Racing Parts, John and Jamie have taken me in under their wing these last 2 years, and it's more than just a sponsorship. It's a big friendship. The Dash and Dutchman Deli has been with me from the last 3 years. Quality Family Dentistry, Tattoos Design, DeYoung Inc. There's so many more. Mark and Amy Bold, Joe's Racing Products, Foss Towing for taking us in this year and helping and letting us use their shop is amazing. Truck Parts Northwest, JJ Cooey Trucking, Superior Powder Coating, Left-Hander Chassis for a great chassis they built. This thing's amazing compared to what we had last year. It's the same, same brand of chassis, but just newer, and it's insanely different.
Let's talk about, you've had a pretty good career so far. What's the one kind of story that sticks out to you as that favorite memory or racing story you have?
My favorite memory wouldn't be my first win in the late model. I think it would be my rookie year in 2014, coming in tied with Bobby DeYoung and Andrew Schuchart only being, I think, 8 points back. And everyone kept on coming up to me, like Pete Jensen and other people that raced with those guys, saying, hey, he's got his guy out there, Nat, and they're planning on wrecking you and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna go out there and race. It is what it is. And we go out there and set fast time, and we raced in the heat race with Bobby, and you never could pass the inside of Bobby, and I got it. I passed him on the inside on the front straightaway, and it was the scariest moment because that night they were on the 5/8 and they had the inside wall, and he pushed me so far down I thought I was gonna hit the inside wall and just destroy my night and destroy his car. But we ended up winning the heat race and starting 6th in the main and worked our way up to the front and ended up clean sweeping the night and winning the championship. That was my last time racing a full season with Bobby. It was a special season because at the end of the night, I told him it was pretty much his championship too, because he helped me so much with my career too, to get me to this point now.
Great story there. Tom, you've been out of the seat for a little while here. Trenton's racing now. Do you think we'll see you back behind the wheel of a race car anytime soon?
That's he'd like to see me race one race with him, but I can honestly tell you right now, the way he's running, I don't know if I could find a car fast enough to keep up with him, but I might give it a shot. I don't know. Donnie Wannett's got 3 cars, and I helped him get started way back when with my crew when I took him in and showed him the ropes. So I might be able to talk him out of one of his cars maybe one night, but that's what he wants, and we may make it happen this year. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, Trenton, let's say you're in a race, 5 laps to go. Your dad's leading, you're running second. You get to his back bumper, what do?
I'm dumping him. I don't care if I go to the back, I just want to dump him. If I get the win, I get the win, but it'd be fun just to rough him up to see, because he's so famous for this Moriarty loving back in the day in the mini stocks. That's what he's world famous for, lifting someone up and not wrecking them and just getting underneath them. So I'd like to show him my way.
This weekend coming up, second straight race. You've been very consistent this year, on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't got that win yet. What's it going to take for you to win this weekend?
It's different this year. When I got fast time this last weekend, I was expecting to reach in there in the chip barrel and find some more chips, but they come to find out we only have 3 chips. So you got a 6, 8, and 10, and it's hard because there's a lot more big motors out there, and the tire fall off isn't as bad as it used to be, where they start falling off about lap 50 or 60. They're really competitive now, so it's hard to work your way around them, especially on a hot night or a hot day into a cold night that there's really no outside group. So you got to make sure that your car is good on the bottom and on the top. I think what we have right now, this last weekend showed that we ran them down and we could get the win. Obviously, we had an unfortunate yellow come out the very end, so it kind of affected us on that restart. But I think this week, if we get a good invert, I think we can honestly win this one.
One more thing I want to talk about. Last year, I know it was probably one of the down parts of the year, and it's been kind of out there in racing. Is you were involved in a really scary crash on the 5/8 track at Monroe. I remember there covering the race in the pits and how scary it was for you, Tom, as well. Talking about concussions in racing a little bit, has that affected you at all in your racing career, you think?
No, not really. I mean, honestly, it affected me when I went back to work because I do, inside sales at Joe's, and I do machining work there. And I didn't remember anything when I went back to work. I didn't remember how to use the system to do all the sales stuff and all the machining stuff. It took me a while to get used to that. The cool part about that, other than getting a concussion, is I made Speedway Illustrated, so I mean that's a highlight of my career, I guess. I found that out last month when I opened up Speedway Illustrated. There was a picture of me in the air, and it's like, oh wow. But I didn't remember doing an interview with them. That was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. So it's pretty crazy opening up that last month.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on. Good luck this week and good luck this season. Hopefully, we'll have that chance to see father-son on the track sometime soon this year. From the Foss Motorsports Shop, this is Evergreen Speedway Weekly News. Jeremy Anders signing off.